Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook. Hey, all you people out there watching, we appreciate you so much. This is the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm J-Mac, the Bearded One. To my left, maybe all your guys is right. I'm not sure where you're sitting from whatever your vantage point is. He's next to me on one side or the other. Chris, Mr. Christopher Mabry.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
It's just Chris and I tonight. Ace took the night off. He had some stuff going on. It's possible that we will have a special guest jumping on in the middle here. So let's see what happens. Let's just go with it. So for tonight, if you're watching, please leave us some comments, leave us some questions. We will answer anything you got. We are in open forum status tonight. We don't have a lot of topics to talk about. Well, we probably have a lot of topics we can come up with, I'm sure. Between Chris and I, I'm sure we can come up with a lot. However, we don't have anything, that's set in stone, so we can come up and do whatever. Brandon Herrera, nice to see you, man. He says, what's up, guys? Well, what's up right now? Nothing. We're sitting here hanging out. It's Chris and I. We're hanging out. Usually you see us together on the Four Bros Radio. But tonight we're hanging out here on Sports Minute together. What about those twins?
Yeah.
What about those twins? Did Ace fall off the toilet again? He's getting up there in age. Yeah, you know what, John? That's our buddy over there at God Over Sports Network, John Alcorn. Joanne Tierney Daniels says, "Hi guys, what's up, Joanne? How's it going?" We just watched her. I hope you guys watched her on movie night. It was a great episode tonight.
It was.
Got the girl power going. I got to check their numbers to see what their views were. I know they were trying to beat Between the Ropes, so we'll see what happened or not. Tomorrow, You Think You Know Trivia Family Feud style. Yes, and I'm excited for that. I actually have a Sunday off. It's Father's Day. I'm going to relax. I'm not going to do anything. Chris, what do you got planned for Father's Day, man?
Not much. Just probably stay home, relax a little bit. Just trying to beat the heat.
Beat the heat. That's what it's about, right? It's actually hot here, too. It's very warm where I'm at right now. I think we're supposed to hit into the hundreds by the end of the week. And, being a kid that originated from Wisconsin, 13 years myself there, before I moved out to the Oregon coast, between those two places, you know what? I'm not used to the heat. This is kind of getting to me here. This is my third summer up where I'm at now. And I'll tell you what, that heat gets to me sometimes. And again, you can put clothes on, you can't take clothes off and still stay legal from a vantage standpoint of where you're at. Let's see what we got tomorrow. I think we got some golf going on tomorrow for myself, maybe. I know I'm going to watch a baseball game. I know I'm going to play in a softball game. So we'll see what else comes about for that nice Father's Day planned there. Chris, you're just going to hang around the house, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch some sports, watch some baseball, maybe some indoor football tomorrow.
Right.
For those of you watching right now, what sports questions you got? What sports questions you got tonight here on Sports Minute? Chris, what topic you got for us? You want to talk about your indoor football league? Let's you have that for a few.
Sure, yeah. They play some games tonight. The team I that's here where I'm at, called the Frisco Fighters, named after fighter jets. They were supposed to play tonight, but one of the teams had to fall out due to some, I guess, breaking rules of the league. So we had a bye week this week.
So we're past the COVID stuff. Now we're just in a breaking rules. So now we're missing games for that.
I don't know.
I mean, that's it's kind of where we were before, right?
Yeah. So I mean, nothing's different. So.
I mean, at least we're getting better. At least we're not sitting there and we're still talking about COVID. Hey, Nathaniel McWhirter, thanks for watching, man. We appreciate you. A former member of the Four Bros Radio Show. But I just recently played in a few kickball games. Hey, you know what? I like kickball. I can tell you something right now. Like, I like kickball. I like it because anybody can play. All you got to have is a leg and be able to kick, you know?
Well, I mean, you K-ball, bowling.
Yeah, bowling's a good
You
one
know,
too. We don't talk
yeah,
about bowling enough. Yeah, bowling is a good sport.
it is.
Definitely enjoy bowling. Brandon Herrera says, "What about some of the NBA coaching
Mm,
jobs coming open?" You know what? It's been crazy. We talk about Black Monday as far as after the NFL season ends,
yeah.
and we got the last Sunday, and then you got Black Monday. We got some dark times coming up in the NBA. There's a lot of coaching openings coming up.
There's a
Um,
lot of dark times in
Chris,
Dallas.
Chris, how about the fact that they let go of Rick Carlisle? I never saw
He
that
walked
coming.
out. They didn't really let him go. He walked out.
I just didn't see it though. I thought
I
Rick
didn't either.
Carlisle was going to be there forever.
He had 2 years on his contract. He was going to be here for at least 2 more years.
Yeah,
But I think when they let go of Donnie Nelson, their GM, he's like, I can't do it.
I
I
mean that
think
could
that's what
be.
happened.
Yeah, I mean that probably has something to do with it. You get a it's like a work relationship. You get in with the boss and
Yeah.
you're gelling with your boss, and they're going to bring in a new boss, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go down another road with someone else. And Rick Carlisle's up there in age. He's probably got to be in his 60s, I would think, by now. But the guy did great. I mean, he won a championship at Dallas. They were always in the playoffs or always in the playoff race.
Hmm.
And he got arguably, I mean, one of the greatest big men of all time in Dirk Nowitzki, and he played for Rick Carlisle for 20 years. I mean, that's
Now,
crazy.
now he's back as an advisor, trying to help out the coaching search, GM search.
And that's Dirk himself, right?
Yes,
What would you think of Dirk as a coach, as the head coach?
well, before he came on as an advisor, I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought once they fired Carlisle or he left, I thought, okay, Dirk's going to come in and coach the team. Well,
Right,
he did show up, but it's not to coach the team.
right now. What do you see going down in Portland? What kind of coach do you see going into Portland?
I hear talks that Carlisle could come back if he's ready to coach again, or he could take a year off.
Ooh, that
But
would
there's
be
some talks of Carlisle going to Portland.
that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Carlisle going to Portland? That'd be
Yeah,
kind of an interesting. I mean, he could go up there and really help Damon Lillard and kind of get that team on the right track.
there's some saying that Nash may come down. Steve Nash.
Really,
I doubt that.
I don't think Nash
Brooklyn's
is good.
playing really good.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think Nash is going to leave Brooklyn to
no.
come coach in Portland. I mean, who's going to do that? I mean, I'm sorry. I live in Oregon, and I understand that. And Portland's like the cool city here. I get that and all, and the Blazers are
Right.
cool. But I'm coaching in Brooklyn,
Mhm.
okay? And I'm going to leave Brooklyn to come coach in Portland, Oregon.
Well, if you're coaching a hot team, a team that's on a roll, but then you're like, I'm just going to up and leave. I don't know. That just doesn't seem right.
So, I mean, going from the coaching over to the ownership and GM side of stuff for just a minute,
Hmm.
what do you think of these talks of Alex Rodriguez bringing Minnesota to Seattle?
I think I heard somebody say something about. I mean, that'd be a good fit, maybe, but that the NBA wants just a brand new team, not a team that is going to relocate, but like just a fresh team.
Yeah, but then you got unbalanced. I mean, then you're going to be unbalanced. Right now, you got 30 teams,
True.
so you can have 6 divisions and five teams in each division. So, would you add 2 teams and kind of go like the NFL and go to 8 divisions and 4 teams in each one?
You,
I mean,
you could.
You could, right? I just don't think you can have unbalanced divisions. I don't think that as far as the games go, your schedule would be kind of unbalanced then because you can't have the same number of division games for each team. So
Right.
I think that you have to stay in even number no matter what you're going to do. So you either have to add 2 or you have to relocate if you're going to relocate at this point.
I'm sure 2 teams will be in the NBA at some point. Seattle's gonna be one of them. It just
Yeah,
depends on
where
where.
do you see where do you see the other team going?
I'm thinking Vegas. I mean, it's working out with WNBA. It's working out with uh, not soccer, uh, hockey. It's working out, for those two,
Yep, and Joanne's got
and it's gonna probably
a
work out
comment for
with
us. She can't argue with our New York. There's a lot of talent in New York. Just saying, yeah, we know Joanne lives in New York. She does bring a lot of talent to the network. So, here's what I'll say. I'll say Vegas is probably a spot where I could see a team going. I think Seattle's another one, but how about a dark horse? How about a place you might not see a team going, like in the middle of the country, maybe like a Kansas City.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Like a place like Kansas City where you could bring something back there. And how about a place like Nashville, a place like Tennessee.
I think a lot of fans will like Nashville.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I heard from a guy on my original podcast about a year ago. I talked to a guy from there, and he said that Nashville's like the hot spot right now. It's growing so much, and that's where everybody wants to be. So I think Nashville would be a great place to have a new team. But it'll remain to see what happens, because you do have to. You have to have the revenue. You have to have the money. You have to have the city behind you to go there.
I mean, they do back up Tennessee, the Titans. So I mean, and they had the draft there. You got your loyal fans there, and that's probably all they really got. But
yeah, I agree with that. And Nathaniel McWhirt's saying Vancouver. I don't completely disagree with you, Nate, but I will say that I disagree a little bit on the fact that they've already tried Vancouver with the Grizzlies. If you're probably too young to remember that, but Chris might be old enough to remember the very beginning.
About that, yeah.
It was the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors that came in. It was Vancouver, British Columbia, is where the Grizzlies were from. They tried two teams in Canada. Vancouver just couldn't get the fans. They couldn't get the new stadium that they needed, the new arena. They couldn't get every behind them in the city, so they relocated to Memphis. And so I don't know that Vancouver would work. Maybe they've learned their lesson over time, and maybe you put a team there and it works this time. But I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll just say I just don't know that Vancouver's the answer. That's all.
I mean, they do have the Raptors, and they've kind of built that into something successful. They did win a championship. Maybe if you bring over some of the managing groups from the Raptors to help build the team.
You know what I heard one time? I heard a theory that the NBA would look into doing like European teams. And so you would have like 4 or 5 teams over in Europe that would be part of the NBA. And basically how you would work that is say your Dallas Mavericks would have to play those teams. They would go over twice a year. So in the beginning of the season, they'd play all 5 teams. And then they'd go back home and work their play the other teams, and then go back at the end, say in February, and they would play those 5 teams again, and that would kind of be their international international play.
I could see that work in like maybe the summer league. You could try that. I don't know how many games are in the summer league, but you could try something like that just to test it out and see how it goes. Because normally those preseason exhibition games are just things that you want to test out.
Right. No, for sure. If you're watching, keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming. We'll really talk about anything here on Open Forum, won't we, Chris? We'll talk about anything you really want to talk about. Let's look around the screen here. So we got a bike helmet, we got some boxing gloves, a basketball, football helmet, soccer ball, football, tennis. Tennis we don't hit a whole lot on.
No.
I think tennis is down right now as far as popularity.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because you have the big names that are kind of on their way out. With Djokovic and Nadal and oh man, why can't I think of his name? Rafael Nadal, Djokovic. Who's the other one?
I can't think of his name either.
Roger Federer. Federer. There it
Yeah.
is. Federer. I mean, so you got the three top guys they're kind of on their way out. They're kind of on the downhill slope of their careers, and so I think that tennis maybe isn't as popular as it once was. And then on the women's side, like Serena's getting older.
Mm-hmm. Venus is too.
You know, I mean, you do. You know, you have a couple up and comers in women's tennis, but I don't think. I think it's just on the downhill a little bit, just on the downslope. Not as popular as it once was.
Well, I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
So that it's unfortunate. It really is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see, but I saw a highlight of, I think it was a tennis match, and it was Nadal and someone else. But and they're still under like COVID lockdown curfew kind of thing.
Yeah.
And at some point they had to leave the stadium because it was curfew. They stopped the match, and they're like, you can't. You have the curfews in effect.
Right. Right.
I wouldn't like that.
Joanne brought up a good point. The Naomi Osaka media controversy doesn't help, but she is actually right. She is completely right on that. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when you got the media putting controversies in you, talking about how, just media doesn't help at all. Media asks the wrong questions, and they'll write anything in any situation the wrong way.
Right.
And I think that, we haven't really heard from Naomi on the whole thing, but
I think at some point she'll speak on it. She's just not ready right now, and I think the media is trying to get her to talk, but she's not ready.
I know the whole point that's being brought up is, should professional athletes have to talk to the media? That's her whole stance on it, and I understand that. But it is part of their job, and I believe it's in their contracts that they do have to be present for the media. And we do have a law in this country, part of the First Amendment, which is freedom of the press, and maybe that one gets pushed a little too far sometimes. So
if I was part of the media, I'd have ground rules of what, and I think everybody should, what to and what not to talk about.
Right.
But I know they're trying to get that scoop.
I know, but okay, so if you talk about a couple of things with the media, sometimes you're talking about, you get them when they ask the dumb question. There was down with Baylor, and I know I bring this one up a lot, but and it's one of those that they ask the question after a game. They're like, hey, so you got out rebounded, how did that happen? And when they sit there and they're like, how did that happen? Dragon Viper, thanks for joining the show. We're here with Dragon Viper's Sports Minute on Saturday, June 19th. So Dragon Viper, what we're talking about right now is we're talking about the media and how they could spin anything and kind of take it in a different direction. So what I was going to talk about is Baylor. And you had Baylor a couple of years ago when one of the media people asked them after the game. They're like, hey, the other team out-rebounded you. How did that happen? And the Baylor guys, tired of answering questions like this, very straightforward, were like, well, you know how when you shoot, and the ball comes off the rim, and then you grab it with two hands, and that's called a rebound? Yeah. They did that more times than we did in the game.
Yeah.
I mean
well,
how else are you going to answer that? It's just like, it's when you lose a game, right? Okay, you go out and you play a hard-fought game. It's, say, 38-35. It's an overtime game. And the first question the press always asks the losing coach is, how are you feeling right now?
I never liked that question.
I
mean, if I'm that coach, my answer is like, well, how the hell do you think I'm feeling right now? We just lost a game. I'm not feeling too great.
That or you lose a championship game. It's like,
that's
you lost the Super Bowl and all that. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, that's the worst.
Well,
I mean, cry.
Right. It's like, how do you think I feel? We went out, we played a hard-fought game, and we lost. Like, I just don't understand it sometimes. I don't understand where we're thinking when we're asking these media questions. And actually, I actually got the pleasure of working with a young lady who was studying media. It was journalism was her major in college. Well, she was working at the store, and I asked her, I'm like, will you do me a favor? Like, when you get up to ask athletes questions, will you not ask them the stupid questions, please? Just change that whole trend on that. Ask them something that's relevant. Ask them, oh, hey, that play in the fourth quarter, it looked like you were kind of sluggish, and, are you okay? Are you hurt? Whatever you want to ask in that regard, but not, well, how do you feel after losing? Well, how do you think I feel? I mean, that's always it's kind of like, and this is a dark way to take this. I understand that, but it's kind of like when you lose a family member or friend, right? They pass on, and people walk up to you and they're like, how you feeling? Well, how the hell do you think I'm feeling? Like, I'm not feeling good right now. So, it's kind of crazy. It's thoughts on Ohtani being in the home run derby. Man, I'd love it. I would love to see Ohtani in the home run derby. And if you two aren't familiar with what he's talking about, Ohtani is a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And as we know, pitchers typically don't hit very well. And in the American League, you actually have the DH. Most pitchers don't hit. Well, Ohtani is pitching great, but he also has hit 18 home runs this year as a pitcher already. And we're, 70 games into the season. So what are your guys' thoughts about him being in the home run derby? I think it brings us back to Ruthian days. Like, it brings us back to Babe Ruth times when Babe Ruth used to hit the hell out of the ball as a pitcher. What do you guys think?
I've always liked the home run derby. I mean, it kind of shows off pitcher skills, and it's just a fun way to show their talent. And
Brandon Herrera is on top of this, and he corrects me all the time. It's actually 22 home runs, which is it says, hey, 22 home runs as a pitcher.
It's still a lot of home runs.
And that's coming off a guy who plays every 5 days. I mean, I know that they've gotten him into games some more. They put him in right field and plays all that. But we haven't seen anything like this in a long time. The best last really good hitting pitcher I could think of that comes to mind for me is Mike Hampton. And that was in the late 90s and early 2000s. And you're talking about a guy that was considered a great hitting pitcher, and he's hitting 12 home runs a year. Ohtani's already hit 22, and we got 95 games left in the season. So,
a long way to go.
Dragon Viper, give me your thoughts. What do you think of this? Is this just kind of crazy stuff we're talking? Like, we're seeing something that's never been seen in our lifetime.
Actually, I think it's a really good thing. It shows that maybe more pitchers can, bat and, show that they have more of a batting skill than, what they want to put on. They want to make most pitchers DHs, but no, I think it opens it up to where more pitchers can be batters again. Just for him hitting 22, another pitcher could hit, we'll say 33. I mean, who knows? As long as, if they'd allow the pitchers to hit more.
I agree. I think pitchers should hit. I think it's part of the game. I think that's part of the game, and we're seeing a trend, unfortunately, in which it's either strike out or hit a home run at this point in baseball. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of striking out or hitting a home run. I mean, we've seen the major league average go from, in 2019, the last full season we had, in a 162 game season, the average Major League Baseball player hit 278. Okay, I mean that's a pretty good average, 278, right around 280. This year, this far into the season, which is further than we played last year in 2020. Remember, we only played 60 games, so this year's going to be a full season. The average Major League hitter this year is hitting 261.
It's a little down.
The average baseball player's average has gone down 17 points.
That's a lot, though. But
that is a lot. I mean, you think,
but it's not drastic, though.
Well, it's not drastic, Chris, but
a lot.
Yeah.
Right, it's a lot. But okay, so let me break it down to you this way: the average baseball player in I think the stat was 2003. And Brandon, check on it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's fine. It's 2003, 2005, right in there. Okay. The average baseball player every year struck out about 85 to 90 times a season. So that's once every other game, something like that. This year, the average baseball player, and this is not the guys that strike out a lot or a little. This is the guys right in the middle, the ones that'll average it. They're going to average this year. The average guy is going to strike out 143 times.
Okay, yeah.
So when
That's
your batting average is down 17 points and your strikeouts are up 50 strikeouts a year, I mean, it's there. You're either striking out or hitting a home run. And I'm going to be a homer a little bit on this and say we've seen this in Atlanta this year. Atlanta ranks second in baseball in home runs. We are fourth in baseball in OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging. We are ninth in baseball in on base percentage. We are 18th in baseball in batting average. So think about that. And then you go to but we're 3 games under 500 because of those numbers, because we're striking out so much more than when we're hitting the ball. And with the shift and everything, I just think that if guys concentrated more on making contact, and if you're being pitched outside, go to right field with the ball. And if you're being pitched inside, go to left field with the ball. We just need to get back to the art of hitting the ball. And Randy has played slow pitch softball with me, and he sees how I can go with the pitch. I can take it anywhere I want. And I'm out here, any of you watching me right now, if you play slow pitch softball against me and you're the pitcher and I hit the ball right back at you, I'm telling you right now, I meant to do it. It wasn't an accident. Because as Randy,
he's telling the truth.
as Randy knows, I'll hit the ball where I want to, and if I hit it right back at you, you probably deserved it, and I did it on purpose. So, just saying. So Brandon said, "Here's a little comparison." Carlos Zambrano, everyone remembers him, the Big Z. Okay, everyone remembers the Big Z. A pitcher in his career hit 23 homers, and his average was 248. That's for a pitcher. For a pitcher, that's like hitting 300 career home runs and having a batting average of 312. I mean, that's great for a pitcher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Carlos Zambrano could hit, and I actually forgot about him. I'm glad Brandon brought him up. This is why we need Brandon on this network. He brings up these great things for us. Doc Gooden, he brought up Doc Gooden from the Mets. He was a good hitter back in the day as well, for sure. Doc Gooden was always good. So this is the second highest number of no-hitters in Major League Baseball history. And yes, and I think you're seeing that because pitchers are realizing that if I make you chase, if one of you want to look up the chase rate for me, anyone watching, anyone here, look up the chase rate in baseball. And what a chase rate is the number of pitches that a pitcher throws that are not strikes that a hitter swings at. And I bet you the chase rate is very high. Pitchers are figuring this out. They're figuring out that they can set you up. They can give you different. So they'll throw it first time right down the middle as a strike. And you're like, okay, I'm going to get that pitch again, right? And next time, they throw a curveball that drops off the table. And you're like, okay, I got to watch for that one. And then you're down 0-2. All of a sudden, you got 2 strikes on you. The third pitch, they throw a slider outside that drops off the table out and down into the dirt. And you swing at it because you don't know where they're going next. But I guarantee that your chase rate is very high in baseball.
So here's what I got so far. MLB average is around 44%.
Jesus.
With D. Gordon leading the league at 50%. And yes, it kind of goes on, but also Joey Gallo in last at 36.1%.
So, I mean, think about that. 44% of the time, a pitcher's throwing the ball and guys are chasing it out of the strike zone. That's why walks are down. That's why strikeouts are up. That's why batting averages are down. And that's why no-hitters are being thrown this year. And by the way, we talk about no-hitters. Let's talk about almost no-hitters. I almost watched one the other night. Charlie Morton for Atlanta took a no-hitter into the 8th inning before he gave up a hit. And I bet if we check the stats on that, on how many of those have happened this year,
How many no-hitters?
How many almost no-hitters? How many no-hitters have gone, 6+ innings this year before they gave up a hit? And I bet it's a lot. I bet it's a lot more than you think it is. I bet it's a ton. And think about it, we've had 6 this year. They say 6. I say 7 because Madison Bumgarner counts for the Arizona Diamondbacks. If you're only given 7 innings, so Dragon Viper, even though you're not much of a baseball fan, let me ask you this question. If you're told by Major League Baseball, who is your employer and your boss, and you're told you have 7 innings tonight to play a game, and you go out and you throw a game in which you give up no hits in those 7 innings, right? Then they come out after the game and they say, oh, but it doesn't count because you didn't pitch 9 innings.
You played in a game.
But his argument is, you only gave me 7 innings. How can I pitch 9 and get a no-hitter? How does it not count? Am I wrong? Am I wrong with that?
No, you're not wrong at all. I mean, if you're told, 7, it should stay with 7, not, be accounted for 9. So.
By the way, the Diamondbacks' last road win was that game. That's how long they have gone without a road win. I believe is it 24 or 25 now consecutive road games they've lost?
I don't know, but I heard like 19 losses in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up because I know that's insane for sure.
They posted their a segment from their pregame show, and they're like, we're fighting for a win. We need it.
They're down 3-0 right now against the Dodgers, which gives them another.
I mean, it might, but.
Well, and right here, we were talking about these almost no hitters. Right now, Dodgers right-hander Walker Buehler is through 5 innings with no hit against the Diamondbacks. So they're being no hit tonight in a game in which they have lost. I don't even know how many games in a row now. Let's look at this. So we look at
it's too many.
So
yeah, pretty much.
on the road, they are 9-31 on the road.
Oh,
they have lost.
I'm sorry.
They have lost. Get it back up here. Sorry about that. So they have now lost. It doesn't tell me how many games they lost, but in their last 10, they're 0-10. That should tell you right now how bad they are.
Yeah, you should win at home, but you should also win it on the road.
Yeah.
In any sport.
You think it would be more important to win on the road than at home. Honestly.
Oh, it is. Because, well, I mean,
baseball, yeah.
You think about it. I mean, you think about it. You come out, you're the home team, right? It's your home stadium. You got your home crowd. You should not easily, but you should win that game probably 70% of the time, right? You should win your home games.
Yeah.
So now you're talking, so half your games, 81 on the road, 81 at home, approximately those numbers. So 70% of 80, I mean, you're looking at about 55. So you got 55 wins now at home, right? So then you need to get to about 90 wins to make the playoffs, 90, 92. So we take 92 and we subtract 55. Now you're talking about 37 wins you need on the road. That means you don't even have to have a winning record on the road to get to the playoffs. But you got to win 37 out of 81 on the road, so 37 and 44 on the road. Approximately, if you're going to win 70% of your home games. But you got to win 37 games on the road, and that's why it's more important to win a road game than it is a home game, because you're going to get those chances. That's spot on, Dragon Viper. That was a great drop in there on that comment, because it is very good. By the way, the Diamondbacks have lost 15 consecutive games in baseball.
That's sad.
15 games in a row. They have lost 23 road games in a row.
Don't you have to win division games, too?
Division games are very important because you play. They are. But division games are harder because they're your rivals. So for me, if you win 2 out of every 3 division games, you're doing pretty good. So about 66% is about, I think, what you need to win in division games to win your division. You can go with a little less than that maybe, but anything 50% or under, you're not going to win your division. It's just not going to happen. So you got to be 60 to 66%, I think, on division games or higher than that. But by the way, Brandon Herrera brought up a good point. So we were talking about the chase rate, and we were talking about D. Gordon and how he's at 50% this year, chase rate.
Yeah.
Acuna Jr. for Atlanta is at 14.3. And that's why he's hit so much better this year, because he doesn't chase bad balls anymore. And he used to. He used to strike out a lot. But he's worked on his game, and he's gotten that a lot better. And so for me, that's something that I can say. Definitely that's gotten better. By the way, breaking news real quick. Breaking news. The Bucks.
Yeah.
Beat the Nets. The Nets go down.
Oh. Bye-bye, Nets.
I was rooting for Brooklyn.
You know, I wasn't.
I wasn't either.
I'm not a fan of super teams. I'm really not. I don't think the super teams. I don't.
I was going for
How fair is that?
purposes.
No, think about that, Chris. How fair is that?
It is not. It isn't fair. I agree with
I mean,
you.
how fair is that? So we know that in different shows, and we're not going to
Right.
say overall because we haven't tested that yet, but in different shows, right? It would be me, Dragon Viper, and I could name one other person, Ace, who are probably the best trivia guys on this network. Okay, for the three of us, for different shows, different things. Do you agree with that,
Right.
Dragon Viper? The three of
I
us are
totally
probably the
agree,
best.
yeah.
Okay, so you take the three of us, and then you put us against. And no offense to you, Chris, but you know,
No,
trivia is not your game.
No,
so then
it is not.
you put the three of us, and we're like, this is our team, and we're going against Chris and two of his friends who really know nothing about trivia and different stuff, and then we're all like, yeah, we beat you. Well, that's like beating an 8-year-old in a one-on-one game of basketball.
Right.
I mean,
No,
be proud. You beat a freaking 8-year-old, okay? And I just these are the things that bother me. I don't think
I
super
don't like
teams should
super-
exist. By the way, let me just explain how super teams would have not been a thing in the 90s. Let's talk about that. They would not have been a thing in the 90s because they asked Reggie Miller. No, everyone knows who Reggie Miller is. You recognize
Yeah.
the name at least, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Indiana Pacers back in the 90s. Okay, so they asked him, if Michael Jordan would have called you and said, come to Chicago and win a couple rings with me and Scotty, what would your answer have been?
No.
Do you know what Reggie Miller's answer was? This is his
No.
exact answer. He said, I would have told MJ to shove it up his, and then he can be prepared to lose when we play him when he comes to Indiana. That's the competitors that they were in the 90s and the early 2000s. I mean, those days
You
are
break
gone.
an arm to win.
Right. I mean, that's what you would do. It was a different game back then. So,
All together.
and Nathaniel McWhirter has said that it's been exactly 8 weeks since they had a last road win. So 8 weeks ago is when he threw that no-hitter against my Atlanta Braves. I'll admit that. It was in a doubleheader, Game 2. We set a Major League record that day, by the way, if anyone wants to know. We had one hit in 2 games.
Wow.
On the same day. So we set a Major League record with 1 hit and a doubleheader. That was not our finest hour, for sure. Rangers beat the Lightning. Anyone surprised by that? I think he means
I am.
Islanders, by the way. I don't think he means the Rangers. I think he means the Islanders because the Rangers aren't even in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out 2 New York teams or.
I'm pretty
in the
sure,
same market.
Brandon Herrera, I appreciate the update. I think you mean the Islanders. I'm going to check on it myself, but
Hey, J-Mac, I just
Yeah.
want to throw something out there.
go ahead.
You're talking about super teams and everything else, and I mean, it could be any sport. It could be football, baseball, basketball, but I like the underdogs winning
Big
because
fuss
of
and I
that.
cannot lie. You others can't deny.
And-
Girl walks
But
in with an itty
I like
bitty
the
thing up in your
it when
face,
the
you get
underdogs
sprung.
win. I like when the underdogs win because of the fact that you have all these sports teams. I mean, look at the Lakers. They claim themselves, especially because of LeBron James is some sort of super team. He's a superstar, whatever. I don't think so, but I'm glad to see them gone. But the thing is the super teams. I like to see the underdogs win once in a while, and so like tonight, I'm glad to see the Bucks, beat the Nets because they.
Well, okay, so I'll just stop you for one point you made. You don't have to like LeBron, and a lot of people don't, and that's totally fine. That's your opinion, and I will not judge you for that at all. The guy is talented, though. He's very good at basketball. I mean, we can't sit up here and say that he's not good at basketball because he is. But the Lakers are very overrated. They're very overrated as a team. And LeBron's a little overrated himself. I'm not going to get into that conversation. I really don't want any comments on that.
It's fine.
But he's very overrated himself. And Brandon Herrera, the Lakers are overrated like Randy Orton.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he's probably not wrong on that. So Randy Orton isn't overrated, huh, Randy?
No, he's not overrated.
I want any team to not have a championship to win this year. I'm not sure what Nate's talking about. Maybe
I think he's saying that any team that's in it that hasn't won a championship, he wants them to win.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I want
saying.
any team to not have a champ. Okay. Yes, that is exactly what he means, Chris. Thank you. So the Suns or the Clippers. I would like that. I would like to see the Suns and the Clippers. But Nate, I mean, being from Wisconsin, we haven't seen the Bucks win the finals since the 70s. So it's been 50 years, man. I think it's okay if the Bucks win. I'm just saying. I think it'd be okay. And what on the other side of it, I think you have. Who do you have on the other? Who's the other Eastern Conference team? Is it the Hawks and Sixers? That series is tied at 3.
Yeah.
So the Sixers haven't won it since '83. And the Hawks have never won it either, or they won it in the 50s or something. I mean, it's been a long time. Let's face that. So let's go back to all of the scores from today. Let's get you a rundown of the scores. So Major League Baseball took place today. Right now we have the Rockies beating the Brewers 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. We have the Angels beating the Tigers 5-2 in the top of the 6th. We have the Dodgers now beating the Diamondbacks 6-0 in the top of the 6th inning. They've doubled that score. The Mariners are beating the Rays 5-3 in the top of the 6th. Finals for today, you had the Yankees beat the Athletics 7-5. You had the Mets beat the Nationals 5-1. The Marlins beat the Cubs 11-1. The Pirates won a game. They beat the Indians 6-3. The Minnesota Twins beat the Rangers 3-2. Two of the worst teams in baseball, and the Twins are coming out on top of that one. The Phillies beat the Giants 13-6. The Blue Jays beat the Orioles, no surprise there, 10-7. The Red Sox beat the Royals 7-1. The Nationals beat the Mets 6-2, so they split the doubleheader today. The Padres beat the Reds 7-5, and the Astros beat the White Sox 7-3. Atlanta was supposed to play today. It got postponed against St. Louis due to inclement weather in Atlanta.
I was going to say rain.
Yeah,
it would be.
Actually, I believe rain and a tornado warning is what canceled.
Okay, I would postpone that.
I saw the tornado warning earlier on TV. So
Hawks haven't won it since '56. Thank you, Nate. I knew it was a long time if they had ever won it. WNBA. Let's talk the WNBA for a minute. We always try to throw women's sports in here on Sports Minute. WNBA. The Connecticut Sun lost today to the Chicago Sky, 91-81. The Sky prevailed in that game. Those two teams are number 1 and number 2 in the Eastern Conference. You have the Connecticut Sun at 8-5 and the Chicago Sky at 7-7, and they're 1 and 2. So that's a good matchup going right now. The Mystics beat the Indiana Fever. The Mystics won 82-77, and the Fever, man, they need something to go right for them. I'm sorry, but they need something to go right. They lost by 5 today, 82-77, and they are 1 and 14.
Monday, WNBA's having an anniversary.
Yes.
You could
and
say.
one more real quick, Chris. I'll let you get to that in just a second. And then the Dallas Wings Chris's team beat the Minnesota Lynx 95-77. So they didn't just beat them; they pretty much pummeled them in that game. And the Dallas Wings are now 6-7. And Mabry, we know another guy named Mabry.
There you go.
Mabry has a career high 28. The Wings hit 17 threes in this game.
Wow.
17 threes. Kind of crazy. And Marina Mabry had 28 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. They shot 17 of 28 from three-point land. They shot 60% in this game. That's crazy. And they shot 100% from the free throw line. They were 14 of 14. That's going to win you some basketball games. Mm-hmm. You're hitting 60% from beyond the arc, and you're hitting 100% of your free throws. There's not a whole lot of games you're going to lose.
No, not at all.
I would agree with you, Christy Wilson, by the way, that the Fever have been a lost cause since Tamika Catchings retired. They have not been very good. That is very true. Let's get you some stats real quick on those other games. So for the Mystics leading the way, for the Mystics, you had Tina Charles. We know that name. She's very, very popular in the WNBA. She had 30 points, but she had 15 rebounds. Double-double with 15 rebounds. That's crazy. And then in the other game, which is Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun, you had Courtney Vandersloot that got 18 points and 5 rebounds, but she had 11 assists in that game, so she had a double-double as well. No other team shot as good as the Dallas Wings did from three-point land. That was insane. 60%, Chris.
Wow.
60 from three-point land.
Perfect. Almost perfect. But.
I mean, as far as his threes go, that's crazy.
Yeah.
60% is unheard of. I mean, the top NBA guy of all time, which is Stephen Curry, I believe he goes off at like 47%. So he's under 50%. You're talking a team hit 60% in a game. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
College World Series in baseball, you have Vanderbilt and Arizona tied right now 6-6. They're in the bottom of the 12th inning.
Oh, wow.
They have played a
that started
long game.
That started like at 4 Pacific, 6 my time.
Yes. It started at 4 Pacific. It is now 8:58 Pacific. That game has gone on for almost 5 hours. That's crazy. And then NC State beat Stanford 10-4 as a final in that one. So congratulations, NC State, on that win. Did we have any MLS? So MLS real quick. We have Portland beating Sporting KC 2-1 in the 64th minute. We have LAFC in Houston that they ran around for a while and no one scored. So 0-0 at halftime there. That game's not over. Columbus and Chicago. Columbus beat Chicago 2-0. Colorado beat FC Cincinnati 2-0. You had New England beat NYCFC 3-2. You had Orlando beat Toronto FC 3-2. DC United beat International Miami 1-0. You had FC Dallas. FC Dallas beat Minnesota. Actually, they tied at 1. Excuse me, no one beat the other one. San Jose and Austin FC, they ran around for a long time, over 90 minutes, and nobody scored. So 0-0 final there.
Wow.
And Seattle beat the LA Galaxy 2-1. So let's look at that table and let's see who the top teams are. New England is out in the Eastern Conference. They're at 5-1-2. They've only lost. Yeah, they have only lost 1 game this year. That's crazy. But Seattle on the other side, they are 5-0-3. So they have 3 ties, but they have not lost a game this year. And part of the reason for that is they are on pace to set an MLS record for positive goal differential. Through through 8 games, they have a positive goal differential of 11, plus 11 already this year. They have given up 3 goals in 8 games. So I don't really think that anyone's going to catch them. That's a pretty good feat right there. So that takes us through today's finals. Let's see. We got about 10 minutes left. What should we do, Chris? You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick 3-question trivia. Chris versus Dragon Viper. Dragon Viper wanted his chance on Sports Minute. I know he wanted his chance against me, but I'm hosting, so I can't really do that at the moment because it wouldn't be fair because I have the answers sitting in front of me. So that wouldn't be a fair thing. But let's go. Yes, let's go. Dragon Viper versus Chris with some random sports trivia. How about that? Just random.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, Chris, pick a number between 1 and 10.
3.
All right. And Randy?
8.
Well, Randy, you were closer. So, do you want to go first or second?
Second.
Second. Okay, Chris. Here's your question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First 1 to 3 wins. Okay. Here we go. Your first question is, what is the diameter of a basketball hoop in inches?
256.
Inches?
Yes.
Diameter, bro.
Been a while.
Radius times pi. Remember.
I don't know.
Randy, Dragon Viper.
I've heard of it a few different times, but I just can't remember, honestly.
Just throw a number out there.
Wow. 364 square.
No, it's 18 inches.
8. I got.
Think about the shape of a basketball. It's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. All right. So, Dragon Viper, you ready for your question?
Yeah.
All right. What do you call it when a bowler makes 3 strikes in a row?
It would be. Oh, I know this because I've made 3 strikes in a row. A turkey?
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is. I was I was so I should know
remember the
this.
animal, but I thought it was turkey.
So, Dragon Viper is up 1-0. Chris, are you ready for your next question?
I'm ready.
So before I ask this question, I have to say that I know the answer to this question even without looking at the answer. And there's a reason why, is because I have somewhat of a photographic memory. And when I was a kid, and for whatever reason, I used to look up random facts about different stuff. That's how I know so much stuff in my mind. So I actually know the answer to this question. Is kind of crazy that this is the next question that came up randomly. Chris, your question is, how many dimples does an average golf ball have?
1,000.
Dragon Viper? That is
You
not the
told
correct
me.
answer.
You're
You're right. I did tell you this on
Oh
the
my
golf
I
course.
was thinking that too. So I
I
heard
did
this.
tell you on the golf course. I told you this.
Oh man!
I said it to get you to drive the ball. I said drive all number of those dimples out.
Man, why didn't I pay more attention? 256.
Woo, that was actually really close. I thought that's closer than I thought you were going to get. It's actually 336.
Oh wow!
Okay, so let's see. This question would go to Dragon Viper. Okay, your question is, the Triple Crown Award is given to a horse that wins which 3 races every year?
Wow. I haven't heard of races in a long time.
Do they have to be in order?
Nope, they don't have to
Okay.
be in order as long as you get the 3.
3 races. Kentucky Derby.
That's that. I will accept that for 1. Yes.
I don't remember the other 2. I know about that one, but the other 2 I can't remember.
Chris.
Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
Preakness,
Yes.
and Churchill Downs. I'm sure that's a race course, but
Ooh, the Churchill Downs is actually where the Kentucky Derby takes
yeah,
place. Yeah. So I can't give it to you. It was actually the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and the Belmont.
Belmont,
Belmont.
Kentucky Derby. I've heard not the. I haven't heard the Preakness one.
Okay. All right. So this question is for Chris.
Okay.
All right. Which boxer fought against Muhammad Ali and won?
Frazier.
Correct.
I was thinking that down goes Frazier.
You got it. You got it. All right. Okay. Randy, are you ready?
Yep.
Your next question. So it's 1-1. Your next question is what does the acronym NBA stand for?
National Basketball Association.
Very good. Yes, sir. You're up 2-1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready.
In what game or sport, if you will, is a love a score?
Tennis.
Yes, sir. You're correct. It's 2-2. This is a hot match. This is going to come down to the wire. Wow, we got a good one going. I think some of these answers are kind of easy, but it doesn't matter. We got a good one going.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
some.
see. Let's find a good one for Dragon Viper. What number sits to the right of the number 20 on a standard dartboard?
Oh my god. And it has been years since I've even played darts.
Yeah.
Next to the number 20.
On the right side of the number 20.
I'm trying to remember exactly where the 20 is. I have a number that keeps popping up in my head, but I know it's wrong. 15, 20. I'm going to throw a number out. It keeps jumping in my head. 6.
Incorrect.
Well, I thought so.
Chris?
4.
Incorrect. It's the number 1.
Oh, that's right. The 20's on top, and then wow.
All right. Chris, you could
Yeah.
seal it, man. You could seal this.
Hope so.
All right. Let's get you a good one. No, I'm not giving you that one. That would be Dragon Viper would be pissed off if I gave you that question. What are the 2 states in the United States that have yet to send a team to the NCAA? Think of 2 states that you've never heard one of their universities or colleges being in the NCAA.
Milwaukee. Oh no.
That's not a state. That's a city, brother. Think of the states.
Bam. Alaska. And uh, I don't know.
Throw a state out there.
Me?
Let's see.
No, Chris, throw a
Yeah.
state out there.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I know that's not true, but
Here's what I will tell you
what?
before I go to Dragon Viper. One of those is correct.
Well, I know which one it is, but
So Dragon Viper, this is your chance to steal it and win. One of those answers he gave was correct.
Well, Alaska. And I'm just going to throw another state out there, just randomly. Maine.
Dragon Viper? That's the correct answer.
Really? Wow.
Alaska and Maine. Dragon Viper is
I
our.
almost said Jersey. I'm like, no, I'm going to go with Maine.
Congratulations, Dragon Viper. He is our Sportsminute Saturday trivia champion. And with the answers of Alaska and Maine, and just throwing that out there. So
Yeah.
I was
you
just trying to go through all the states. Like, well, Stanford, and,
right.
just trying to go through all the schools in the states. And
No, you got it. You got it. Congratulations, you Dragon Viper. So I'll start with you then. You get a minute. You can be prideful about your victory. You can be boastful. You got a minute. You go ahead.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for the trivia. I miss doing trivia, so that was awesome. And after being in a car for almost 2 days, it's nice to be finally back on here and doing these shows. So and thank you for my worthy opponent, Chris. Well job. Did well. So, and that's all I got. Everybody have a good night from me. So,
All right. And Chris, you only get 30 seconds, but you go ahead.
thank you guys for watching, interacting. I did pretty well on trivia. I didn't get shut out, but it's all in good fun. So, I mean, I like doing the trivia. So,
All right. And for all of you wondering, tomorrow is You Think You Know. Now, we have not set everything up as to who the other team is going to be yet, but you can watch myself, Dragon Viper, and Ace on the same team in Family Feud style, You Think You Know, against a very worthy opponent. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Because
It's
I know
gonna
the
be
three
good,
of us are going to dominate. I can't imagine that we won't, no matter who our opponents are. But I think that'd be awesome. But for Chris and Dragon Viper, I'm J-Mac, the Bearded One. I want to thank you for watching this very special edition of Sports Minute on Saturday. Thank Dragon Viper for joining us. I know that you just got out of a car and got home and came on here, but you made the show great tonight and helping us out. Ace will be back with us on Wednesday, along with Big B will be on with Wednesday as well. You will catch Chris and I on the Four Bros Radio Show on Monday. We will be with another edition of that. And you can catch Dragon Viper tomorrow on You Think You Know and Between the Ropes, which has a very special guest tomorrow. So look forward to that. I am J-Mac the Bearded One for Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. We thank you all for watching. We could not do this without you. We will catch you on the other side.